Well, if you're anything like me, it's easy to get a bit despondent in winter, and I find that being surrounded by all these seedlings really improves my mood no end. And just watching the process of growing and, pricking out and potting on and, just all the sort of vibrancy in life, it just gives you that spring feeling in the middle of winter. As well as, fantastic winter harvests as well. So I thought I'd just take you around my seedlings that I've got in the greenhouse. I'm just about to sow, actually, all my seedlings for December, which are all of the early spring summer veggies, so all the early peppers in particular, but also lots of spring lettuces and some brassicas and all those sorts of things, but I'll talk about that another day. So I thought I'd just show you around what I've got and also what I've got in the ground on the allotment, because some of these are sort of second batches. And I do have these grow lights in here as well, and these are old grow lights. These are my original grow lights from like 5 or 6 years ago maybe, and they're a bit old now. The quality of the LEDs is nowhere near as good as the new ones that I have in the house, but they're just great to have in the greenhouse, and I only have them on just to sort of top and tail the day. So I'm trying to create the conditions of March in here, and I'll be planting these things out in February, and so then effectively they'll think it's still March, just a sort of cloudy March, and then it'll be March again, and so they'll think they've been in kind of this perpetual March for a long period of time, and then obviously it'll be April, and it'll actually be April, and they'll just sort of hopefully continue to grow quite happily. So that's my kind of objective. So their lights are on. Let me just think. I think they come on at 6, go off at 9, come on at 3, go off at 5 or something like that. Yeah, so that's March. So I just put the lights on just so you can see what it's like. And actually at night, it looks beautiful in here. It really sort of brightens up this whole room and sort of illuminates the garden as well, and just makes the whole thing look really attractive. So kind of multi-purpose, and they don't cost very much. Certainly, a very good investment by comparison with being in a dreary mood. So I think I'll start off here. So I've got 6 cauliflowers here, and I've got some more cauliflowers I think down the other end, and then all of these down here are all calabrese. So I've got space for 20 calabrese plants, and I think somewhere in the region of 10 cauliflowers for spring in multiple successions. So pretty happy with that. I've just got the odd really big cauliflower kind of left over from the ones that I've already got planted, and I've already got 10 planted, and that one is going to go in the polytunnel where the Claytonia is right now, so it won't get planted out until sort of the end of February, so it might actually need potting on. So then here we've got all the lettuces for winter. Well, not actually all of them, because I've got a few more containers like this, but these are the ones who are going to be kind of supplementing the polytunnel and low tunnel lettuces on the allotment. And the main reason that I have these as a supplement is mainly because of leaf quality. So it's really nice to have kind of spring quality lettuce leaves and with lettuce colouring in the middle of winter. I don't mind some lettuce with slightly lower leaf quality, but it just makes a difference to have some lettuce with really high leaf quality in the mixes. And then here I've got what's left of my red cabbages. So I've already got, let me think, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 red cabbages planted out for harvest in sort of late May, June sort of time scale. And this is my next batch here. I'm sort of oldest batch there. These will probably not be ready until July. And then I've got those extra next batch of cauliflowers, so they're looking pretty good. And then some more calabrese. And then right at the end here, I've got Brussels sprouts for leaves and more Brussels sprouts for leaves. And so really quite a nice selection. I love Brussels sprouts for leaves, and this gives you a really good idea of what I'm aiming for, really. These beautiful leaves, not really much bigger than this, to be honest. Just by planting Brussels sprouts at a really high density, you just get this kind of lush leaf growth all the way through spring and into early summer. And then on this table I've got my experimental brassicas. So these are the ones that I'm running this trial to see whether I actually need to plant brassicas for spring back in sort of, August time, and then take up bed space all the way through autumn and winter, or whether I can start them now under grow lights and plant them out in sort of February time, mid-February, sort of very early March sort of time, and therefore just keep, have all those beds that would have been full of brassicas, full of winter veggies. And yeah, it's looking pretty good at the moment. So these are, pretty much a month old now. I'm just about to pot them on because they're kind of running out of steam in these modules. These I'm going to plant outside. So these are, let me just remind myself, red rhubarb. And these are designed to be sort of harvested as not microgreens, but mini greens. So probably when the leaves are maybe twice the size of this. So I'm kind of, going to plant these out in between my lettuces and keep sort of harvesting them through until about the end of February, and then take the plants out because the lettuces will need the space. But by then we should have had quite a few harvests off these. And obviously you can see they've got this most beautiful colouring on them, which I'm really happy with. And then all my labels are the wrong way around, so I'm going to move to the side of the table. So I've got these green curly kales, and these are dazzling blue, which are sort of like a Tuscan kale. They're kind of a cross between I think a cabbage and a kale. They're really lovely, and they have this really beautiful sort of purple colouring to them. And I've got some calabrese, next batch of calabrese. And then we've got, this is an interesting one. So I'm trying Savoy cabbages. So I want to see if I can get Savoy cabbages really early in the year. So in a sort of June sort of time scale. I'm really excited about that because I love Savoy cabbages, but over winter they tend to get a lot of slugs in them. So yeah, I'll be really interested to see if I can get those in spring. And so then I'll have red cabbages and Savoy cabbages in spring if this works out, and that'll be brilliant. And then I've got these really old red cabbage seeds. These are Calibos, and they look really weak, these plants, as they often do when you grow them from really old seed. But I might still pot 2 or 3 of those on. And then I've got Pentland Brig kale. So this is one of my favoured kales for winter. And yeah, so again, I want to try that out to see whether I can get a really nice spring harvest off that. And then this is Offenham. So this is a traditional spring cabbage, a pointy sort of spring cabbage. And again, normally you would plant this out in October from maybe July, August sowing. And again, it's like using up a lot of bed space that I could have with winter veggies in it. And so I want to see whether I can get that in spring by just accelerating its growth a bit under grow lights. So anyway, we'll see how all this does. This is all experimental. And then kind of scattered around this greenhouse and the polytunnel, I've got quite a lot of lettuce in hanging baskets. And some of it's done really well. The Brighton, the Riccia, the Roxy, and some of it hasn't. Some of it has started to rot a bit, the Valdor and things like that. So I've always found that the Riccia and the Brighton have done best in previous years, but yeah, we'll see. So these haven't had any grow lights, they've just benefited from being planted early and put up into here. And then I've also got some Wild Rocket. I think I've got 6 of those. I don't know where the others are at the moment, probably in the polysol. And that is about it. I've got a lot of seedlings already planted out. So I've got a lot of lettuce and a lot of spinach. That's the main ones I've got, I think, in terms of seedlings. So I think that's pretty much it for me. Oh, I've got parsley as well. And I've got another succession of parsley up here. Just ready for pricking out. Yeah, so that's me done. My name's Steve. This is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.